So I just got back from my walk, doing like a cool down, um, and then I'll take a shower and I gotta go up the thing and buy water. I don't think I need anything else. So, have some soda. I like to cool down because if I just shower and get dressed, I'll be wicked sweaty. You gotta cool down first and then take a shower. So that was just under 2 hours. So yesterday I think I went a little bit over 2 hours. That was pretty good. Still consistent 2 hours, so that's good. I usually am. I usually don't. Um, I just push through it. Like I have a certain, like my body knows. See what's going on with fake news. Sunday, yeah. Anything to do with politics is just. Yeah, sure. Someone is like trying to stir the pot, as you call it, right? You just go, um, you are sort of as sick as Brian Buchanan. Okay, I explained to Brian when he was here, because we were here at the time, that someone left some completely bizarre voicemail on my phone. And I explained it to him after the person about he's going to get housing without me. He's going to get housing. He's going to get a one-bedroom apartment with the caretaker if he gets rid of me for brain injury. Okay. And like just his response, because I can hear him on the phone. I hear him tell the person we don't go in a shelter because I can't sit up in a chair. No one should be doing that. But right, because of my medical condition, because they want to know why we're not in a shelter. That profoundly insane. Why you're not in a shelter. We told you 100 times, and enough with the shelters. Shelters need to be closed. Enough with shelters. Just like the detoxes need to be closed, and then apparently psych wards are going to have to be closed because they're lying to Mass Health. It's called fraud, and it doesn't help anybody but their own pockets. It's all a bunch of nonsense. They're trying to help homeless people. I'm homeless, and I'm a female. And as far as you know, I'm alone on the street right now, homeless. Okay? Well, you're diddling Brian Buchanan, whatever the fuck you're doing over there. So you're not trying to help anybody. Right? It's all about lining your own pockets and you paying your rent and shit. Right? You don't care. Dude doesn't even care if somebody destroyed his dick at the hospital with the catheter. He doesn't remember a person couldn't get an IV and he's using a machine, and no one tells him to stop doing it either. It takes me showing up there, and then is someone else going to take over because clearly the person can't do it. Right? Just imagine being stuck in a psych ward like that. Anyways, yeah. So a person with any brain matter would care after a few days about. Have you called anybody or? Oh, no, just stay here, wink, wink, wait for the insurance to kick you out. That's what they did at Spalding. They made up that he had tachycardia, is it? Because they were having him exercise and then he would smoke and then they'd take his pulse. Because they told me a certain date, so I booked a campground. So then they admitted that they were lying to Mass Health so he could stay there. Okay. I was in a psych ward and they let someone stay there for 4 months until she got into a rooming house. That's called fraud. So anyways, just like Gavin Foundation let him stay there for 6 weeks and then kicked him out. The second they thought that we were in a fight, like I told you, and I'm clearly reporting everything that's going on, and then he gets on the phone after I call and ask to talk to them and what's going on. then he goes, "You can't be talking to people like that," and I just hung up on him. That's the madness I've had to tolerate. Don't talk to me anymore. Don't talk to me anymore? Oh, yeah, just you're fucking insane. You're sticking up for people at fucking Gavin Foundation. It's probably why they kicked him out. The other workers just went, "Dude, I can't fucking take it anymore." Bye. Anyways, um, after a while, even Neanderthal females can't deal with it anymore. Like, did you just call her and yell at her about because the secretary won't answer her questions? She's your fucking advocate. Nah, done with you. Bye. Anyways, opportunity. Yeah, you can't be talking to people like that, right? You can't be talking to me like that. And I can't be smashing your fucking face in because then I get arrested for assault and battery. And you go and get a fake restraining order against me for fucking nothing, but I can smash your face in with my fist? Obviously not. Anyways, what would a person do when you realize this person is nothing but a sadistic rapist? What would you do? Anyways, he doesn't even care that possibly they destroyed his dick at that place with the catheter. Anywho, he seemed like that was never going on with him before until he was at Spalding. Really? I think it was going on with you before Spalding, but anything's possible where they made it even worse. You clearly had to have had a catheter because you had a tube up your asshole because you wouldn't stop shitting. So I'm sure you had a catheter because you couldn't get out of bed. I know it's all fine and good when you're tricking everybody till they destroy your dick, and that's how you make money. Nothing right now at this second. Ice machine. She turns it on for me. She doesn't even use ice. I use ice every day in my soda. Sometimes my water, but mostly the soda. Too, I get the royal treatment here. It's nice. None of it's like fakery either. Oh, this is what I was going to say. So, even dude, but he still doesn't get it. Like, he gets it, but he doesn't get it. I think he goes into a denial. Right. Well, which is it? They're gonna do stuff to me because of you, or none of us care because you're all fucking damned. I think it's both things. Psychopaths are psychopaths, dude. A female gets mad at shit about a dude that has nothing to do with me. And yeah, you all do hate me because you have brain disease and you're a different species. So, anyways, just trying to stir up crap. It reminds me of when, like, Barbara Kent would be like, "Aren't you gonna defend me about what?" She would start fights with their other children and then expect me to intervene and get involved. And then everything comes crashing down on you and shit like insanity. Tommy did it too. Don't you care that he took a TV? Like, they're knocking on the door of the room I'm in. No, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care that he took a TV. I don't want to be involved and I don't care. Right. So you got people leaving whacked out messages just trying to stir up shit and cause problems. It's because of the fig tree. Right? It's manifesting. To me, it's the same thing. You might think it's different things. But to me, it's the same thing, manifesting the same way because it's the fig tree. And then because your brain, it appears probably at first, like to a psychologist, that you're acting like children because of the brain disease, but the behavior itself is because of the fig tree. Hopefully that makes sense. It's both things. Yeah, like a human being with brain disease, they're more mature emotionally, so I don't know if they'd manifest those childhood levels as the brain's dying. Right. That remains to be seen, or they just get more and more ditzy and forget things. Right. I guess I'd sort of, if I had to theorize, they'd get more and more ditzy and not display some of the other behaviors because some of that stuff seems normal through child development, but an adult human being, yeah, I mean, you might say they're losing brain matter, but then you sort of go at where is the brain matter after it resolves growing into an adult? Right. Like, is that hidden child stuff still there? Definitely for psychopaths, but I don't think human beings can be psychopaths. But definitely for psychopaths, yeah, it would become more and more childlike and mean. So, um, yeah, like someone's stirring up more crap here, and she's not here. I wanted to actually, you know, talk to her again about it and just make sure everything's all right. Um, that's about all I can actually say about it. It's just, I'm not speaking for her. I'm speaking for myself. So maybe that's why I'm not getting messages anymore. Okay. Just notify me when the woman dies. Okay. I'm not planning on going to services, but obviously I would like to be notified that my biological mother died, just so I know. Right. But I'm not planning on attending any services. I don't really do that. It's not a punishment. I didn't go to Tommy's either. I don't really do that. Okay. Um, I don't have any estate issues unless she left me something. If she left me money, then I'll take it. I don't have to go to the services for that. That would be great since obviously I'm homeless and destitute. She clearly didn't own property anymore. Okay, so I don't know whatever happened with her land in Ohio. I'm not sure anyone knows. You would think you have a homeless family member for 15 years that would have been gifted to that person a long time ago, but yet it wasn't. Okay, and if people didn't keep up with the taxes, then the state probably took it. Okay, so just um, it clearly was important to Barbara because her parents, it was a piece of her parents' property. Okay, so anyways, I think honestly, what's going on there is people get into rages because Candy and I have always had a decent relationship, and they become angered by that because I don't care about things that they care about, and they get mad, and they know I don't have relationships with them like that. Okay. Um, one of them, they both own homes. Okay, and they both have children. Okay. Um, I contacted James when I first was forced up here by Alfred, and he refused to help me. I have no relationship with him. None. I have no relationship with James Kent at all. For a reason. Okay. I'm sure there's a reason he doesn't attempt to talk to me, either because he knows. It's one of those things where you do something so fucking awful that you don't talk to the person anymore. So there was some of that attempting to talk to me when Tommy died. No. Nope. I remember it vividly. Okay. And I used to have him at my house occasionally when I lived in Florida. I still talk to him on the phone, listen to his fucking problems. Okay. I tried to discuss marital problems I was having with him, and this is just weird because usually you're the person we come to about our problems. Yeah, no shit. So, and then when I'm in danger of being murdered in Florida, and someone has kidnapped my children and flown me to Massachusetts. The person refused to help me and actually told me to go back to Florida, where I potentially could have been murdered. Right. So I have no relationship with that person whatsoever and don't intend to have one. Um, Also, the other one that I explained said a bunch of insane shit but I had a tummy tuck and stuff. It's just certain things. I have no relationship with that person and don't intend to have one. That's about it. I have no relationship with Kathy. I don't know what her last name is currently. She's had like 5 husbands. I have no relationship with her and don't intend to have one. So why would I go to services? Went over the thing about the Kent family. Right. I don't care that Barbara's sister died. I don't care that Tom Kent's brother died. Okay. Just for real. Been homeless for 15 years. These are people that owned homes, property, vacation homes, multiple taking of vacations. I remember, I think one of Barbara's brothers actually contacted her to tell her he bought property and I'm homeless sitting in her house. I'm sure she had her mind blown out 50 times too, listening to it. And she did fucked up shit too. But I'm sure she just went, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. It's called moral depravity, and it's just not, that's not a family. Candy and Barbara consistently let me stay at their house. It was their house. It wasn't just Barbara's house. So, Tommy, when he was renting the house and took over Barbara's care and her finances, allowed me to stay there for 2 years. So, these aren't people renting a house in Plymouth every summer for a week. It is like that, yeah, it is. It's not really about money at that point, you catch my drift. It's just, it's not a family. That's why I become bewildered why people would show up to a hospital for Brian Buchanan. You just go, I don't understand. How are you so insane that you would contact them? Clearly, the man's mentally insane, so you demand he has someone on a piece of paper, so he puts his fucking mother or his aunt. He told me he put his aunt because she never answers her phone. He doesn't want you to be talking to anybody. That's his life. Right, you just go, just in June, I was just like, you people are so fucking insane. Not only that you contacted them, but they actually responded to you and showed up. That was, and then never showed up again. You just go, what the fuck? Oh yeah. But don't contact me, and then here we are again. That's why I said, did they call Marie and Denise again? And what's the brother's name? Steve? Because they themselves are fucked up like that, and they hate me. They themselves are fucked up like that, and they hate me. That's why. That's why it's just criminal and insane. You can do that to quote unquote family members because as family members, you're not supposed to quote unquote do this to me. Get it? I know you don't get it because you're a narcissist, but just, they took Tommy's trailer and stuck it next to her house, and Scott's living in it. And I'm fucking street homeless. And his truck. And she's got a 4-bedroom house. And she was renting a house in Plymouth for a week every year. She just can't do it anymore because of Barbara. She might go back to doing that after Barbara dies. Right, you just go, what the fuck? What am I looking at? I couldn't believe Kathy crawled out of the woodwork after the eviction out of the house. And they all pretend that the Mary doesn't exist. That's not insane. They told the court they didn't know where I was, and I don't have a phone. So you have a sibling that's homeless and she doesn't have a telephone? Why didn't you buy her a phone? Anyways, Tommy wouldn't let Brian there, but he was weird like that, and it wasn't just Brian. He wouldn't let anybody. I tried to get him to let Karen and Michael go there in 2020 because they were living outside. It was a mother and son. He wouldn't let them come back to the house either. He specifically wrote in a text I could only go back to the house if I was alone. So he was weird. Yes. But he did let me stay in the room in High Park for 2 years. And the only reason I left is because he died. And Cindy took over the money in her mother's care and took her mother to her house. Just how did she end up with all of Tommy's stuff? Because she took it and no one did anything about it. No one cared. Like, how do you end up with a trailer in your sister's street homeless? And your son's living in it when he could live in your house. It's a 4-bedroom house and he gets Social Security. How does that even happen? And his truck and his trailer. That's the only things he had. Anyways, I tried again in May when Brian took off, and I couldn't stay there. I don't think she would have allowed me to just stay there, by the way. Yeah, I don't think she would have allowed me to just stay there. She's brought me to her house before, and it never works out. Get a little bit of where to go. Yeah, I don't think she would have allowed me to stay there. She knew I was going camping, right? And then she'd go, well, you don't like being out here because it's too isolated. Really? I prefer to sleep on the ground outside and be attacked by people in Cambridge. Sure, whatever. Right. And I honestly, you'd go insane living with her. Right. She won't leave you alone. Like the TV will be on. She hates phones and computers. Okay. And if you're not talking and you're not paying attention to the TV, she's like asking you questions like you're to make sure you're paying attention and she gets mad. Like there's some people that have a problem like that. They act like you're a child who has like um you're locked in and you have autism and they're like, okay, you see it? I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in it. Yeah, just and she has this humongous dog that she lets jump all over you and stuff because she's used to just her and the dog. And it literally humongous dog just jumping on you. Yeah, just you should probably eat something. Well, it's probably time for bed, and then if you have a TV on or something, she can hear every fucking thing and she gets mad because you stayed up too late. Or you're up in the morning and you're waking her up because you're trying to make coffee and she gets mad. It's too much. It's too much. Can't do it. Candy's nothing like that. Nope. She is nothing like that. Just she had a lot of issues with her mother, and just I'll just leave it at that. Right? Just anyways. Well, I don't know if it's the barometric pressure or hormones or whatever. It seems to have gone away. Ugh, drink some more of this. I got one of these in. I should probably take that out because I'm gonna take a shower. I still have my one piggy, and I had to explain it. You just go, oh my god. Mm. Oh, it's in the pocket. I don't think Al really talked about Lois a lot. I think he mentioned Val a couple of times. We got this is the point where I knew that I made sort of a terrible mistake with him. It was after I had my daughter because she was born in Massachusetts, and then we moved to Florida for his work. So I'm away from everybody, my family, my friends, where I grew up, everything. I don't know anyone in Florida. It's just me and him and my daughter, who's like 5 months old. And that's the conversation about. I said that I think that family is the most important thing, and then your work. And he goes, I don't agree with that. That's what he said to me. And I'm sure Angel believes whatever nonsense he tells her. Well, now because of you, I do believe that family is the most important thing and not work. And then something came up about Val too. Val is the one who got away in terms you have Ev and Val. Those are the two people that Alfred actually liked. Okay. Um, he asked Ev to marry him and she wouldn't, and she broke up with him because he was only like 16. She probably got weirded out by it. She was a redhead. Um, and then he went out with someone named Val in college that I think she probably just got drunk once and had sex with them. And then, yeah, he must have overclubbed there. And he had lost a lot of weight. It was the only time in his life he wasn't obese. Okay. And so that was like the person that he liked, and he liked her sexually and stuff. And he was wicked into her, but she wasn't gonna go out with him. Maybe he raped her if she was drunk. I don't know. That's rape. Maybe he didn't know that. Okay. So then he went out with someone named Lois, who was also a redhead. And she was very, very bossy and controlling, and I think he likes that. Okay. And they broke up, and when he started going out with me, that's pretty much the only reason he didn't go back with her. I think they had fights and went back out with each other. And he punched her in the face, and that's why he was kicked off campus of the college, because he punched her in the face. So he can get violent. Um, so that's the story with Alfred. And I asked him when he started going out with Angel, I go, have you ever been by yourself at all since you were 16? He said no. And I go, you might want to really think about that. Like, we were just together for 20 years. You just ended a 20-year relationship and you're right back with someone and it's super serious. He's never going to learn. He's never going to learn. Right. And I noted that I thought Angel looked like his sister, and he argued with that. And then at that Thanksgiving I told you about, she seemed like his mother. Right. So he's locked into it now. He thought he didn't like his mother, so he marries his mother. Okay. Then he has an excuse for being depressed and complaining and whatever vindictive things he does behind her back. For me, it was smoking and lying about smoking cigarettes, and then whatever else he was doing. You purposely pick a overbearing wife, and that's supposed to excuse what you do. Sort of. I don't think a psychopath needs that type of excuses, but sort of like a Brian Buchanan, where you pick uh, a very sensitive, loving woman who's trusting and believing and becomes upset when you hurt her. And that's the excuse for your behavior. You do awful things, so she reports it, and then you tell everybody that she's psycho and she's flipping out on social media and no one should do that. And she's telling people personal things and shit. I think probably after about the sixth time, his friend should have stopped listening to it. You know exactly what she's going to do, so you're doing it on purpose. You know exactly what she's going to do every time, so you're doing it purposely. People call that a toxic. I don't really consider that a toxic, and I explained why. Right. I'm not transferring anything like a parent onto him. He might be doing that, transferring his mother onto me, but I'm not doing it in return. So it's not exactly a toxic. Yeah, and he's a psychopath. Toxic relationships involve a very strong emotion that that person doesn't possess. A psychopath doesn't possess that bond to anybody. Okay. Um, I think that he does with his mother, but it's not the same as a toxic. Okay. So hopefully psychiatrists understand what I'm saying, even if people that are toxics don't. or psychopaths, or people that just don't like me and I have to be wrong about everything, crazy. Okay. A toxic is you get involved in a relationship where it's already sort of bad and you're making a lot of conciliations in the relationship because the person can be flawed because your parent is flawed and you're going to fix it and then you're going to resolve that love and that parent is going to love you. Okay. And you're not aware that you're doing it. Right. I think when you become aware you're doing it, you end it. Okay. There is what happens is you don't get in fights like Brian and I do either. You don't do that in a toxic. No, it's just it, you can have like you put up with abuse and like the person might take off like he does, but it's so unbearable to you. It's so unbearable that the person did it. And then you feel like there's such a strong love that there's no possible way this person isn't your soulmate because of it. There's no way that this person isn't your soulmate because you're transferring from your childhood. That's not romantic love. No romantic love is that. And there shouldn't be that type of an emotional attachment when the person's abusive. You don't have things in common, you're fighting. Okay, no bond like that should form. And I explained it to Brian Buchanan on the telephone when he called me. It might have been the last conversation, but I've explained it before about he can't bond to me. He refuses to have any type of bond to me. Right. So eventually a person that's not dysfunctional and I'm not in a toxic, I don't have those feelings anymore. You can't play me anymore as a psychopath. It's short lived. What happened with that is he's playing upon my compassionate heart, not romantic love feelings anymore, but my compassionate heart. Some of it could be just, right, I wanted something to work out. Okay. Once you see that that person's never going to change and they don't even like you, you have to let it go. You have to let it go. It becomes impossible for a psychopath to keep drawing you in for his own enjoyment. There's only so long a person can tell you they're just depressed. If you're just depressed, then why are you being so mean to me? And why are you using drugs and why are you cheating? You're not just depressed, you're a psychopath. Okay. It's my depression. I don't know how to do anything. Yeah. You certainly know how to throw in the kitchen sink trying to hurt me, though. You do know that. I don't think a mentally retarded person or a person with autism, which is a form of mental retardation, by the way, I don't think they could formulate some of the shit that Brian Buchanan does. Right? There's like thought going in there about how best to hurt me. I don't know if people do that to their parents. They might. I could definitely see them harming themselves with drugs and alcohol, tattoos, cutting, getting beaten up on purpose, ending up abandoned somewhere outside, ending up in a hospital, um, saying they're attempting to commit suicide, getting pregnant on purpose, dating disgusting people, sleeping with gross people, sleeping with people that your parents know, like his father did to him. That those things I could definitely see a child terrorizing a parent doing that stuff. Yeah, terrorizing. Um, if your parent is Christian and doesn't believe in homosexuality, you would get like Brian has got. So someone in that circle it might have been the foster care parents. Okay, with the whole thing about transsexuals and stuff. If he was on a psychopathic tirade against a male, he would start talking about females all the time. It's just a psychopath. If he started trying to date someone like Colleen, he would terrorize her about beautiful women because he's a psychopath. And in my opinion, he's a psychopath that all the thoughts are in his head is getting an elation from hurting people and getting high. Uh, I think he does some typical abusive behaviors where he tries to alienate me from people that seem to like me. Out of a typical psychopathic behavior, which is envy. Yeah, envy fueled rage. He's done it with my sister Candy a couple of times. I explained it to her. Um, I don't know if it's men that have said positive things to him about me, or he can just tell, and then they've got to be probably queer. That happened at the warming center too. One of the guys there that he could tell we had a rapport or whatever, then he's going to tell me he thinks that guy might be gay. I'm married to you. Why would I care if the guy I'm talking to is gay? Does that mean that he doesn't want to have a conversation with me because he's gay? Right. Yeah, I also think he has some sort of insanity where he thinks that even every dude wants him. It's probably from the abuse. Remember when he told me that the ex, when he was calls her the ex, right? The rape victim. Okay. Told him that his penis was average. Remember that? So what do you think of the penis? My ex said it was average. Probably because you wouldn't stop talking about it, and it sounds like your ex seen a lot of dick. Okay? Because clearly her father's a pedophile that was showing his penis to everybody, so she knows about her father's penis. Do the math. Right, that's why I said, where was this that he's showering in front of people naked? It was outside. There was an outside shower. Was it near her bedroom? How did you see him? Yeah, I remember I forget who it was, but I had like a friend in high school or something, and they had like a summer home and there was a shower outside, which you're supposed to use a bathing suit with when you have a swimming pool or you live on a lake. You don't use it to shower naked. You use a bathing suit. So anyway, clearly the dude's a pervert. So they're usually out in the open. They're not enclosed. That's I'm familiar with them. And I don't know if you can actually see them outside of a window, outside of a like bedroom window or not, but I don't know for sure. Like say that the daughter's bedroom was right there, that's why he was doing it. Or there was a neighbor. Yeah, you just go. Were you in the shower with him? He tried to tell me that someone at the warming center is a transsexual. And he insists. I go, I think that's actually a female. And then he insists. He goes, I've seen it. You're fucking disgusting, dude. Really get the fuck away from me. The two of you. The two of you. If that's true, you're both fucking disgusting. Fuck away from me. How would you see some dude's dick? Because you're both fucking disgusting. You're either lying or you're both fucking disgusting. You're both fucked up and disgusting, yes. Exactamundo. That doesn't even make any fucking sense, Brian. Right, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know. I don't think he cares, but if I was at the warming center, I'd be talking to everybody about it, including that person, because I've had a fuck enough of it. I have a question. Did you ever show Brian your sexual parts? Just yes or no. Did you ever show Brian your sexual parts? Fucking disgusting. You literally show up here in this fucking line. I guess I'd be in a bad fucking mood too now, wouldn't I? People repulse me because I want to know exactly how much this guy makes up, so don't lie. Right. He could be just the most whacked out nutter. Don't you think you should know that? Okay, well, he told me that he saw it, that you have a dick and he saw it. How is that possible? How is that possible? Remember when he was telling me that that Nate guy has actual boobs and stuff? Was he showing them to you? He could be making this stuff up, people, because all he wants to do is fuck with my head because he's a psychopath that's fucked. Yeah, because my sister goes like, yeah, that's like gaslighting shit going on. Make sure when you're involved with someone, even if you go to like get yourself a therapist and tell your therapist because it's your therapist. Who cares? Everything this person tells you that you're going out with, tell your therapist this person told you. Right. If they think you're fucked up because you're online, like I do, reporting everything the person's doing and saying, too fucking bad, don't go out with me. Get it? Get a therapist and tell your therapist everything this person is saying to you. That was award winning though, when he was here with my sister. And she goes, I don't know what you guys usually do for Thanksgiving because she was inviting us here for Thanksgiving. And I go, oh, what do I do? What do I usually do? Well, I spent Thanksgiving sitting up in a chair at Father Bill's place because and Brian spent Thanksgiving up in a tent with one of his druggy friends. I didn't even tell her it was a female till I came here this time. And I go, yeah, I got to tell you, remember I told you that? It was a female. And she just goes, oh my God. Yeah. After that, between what happened last year and the number of times he's run off, just telling her that's it. No one's ever going to tell me to say anything nice about him again or tell me to consider taking him back. That's the embarrassing shit you don't point out to people because you know it's bad yourself. You know it's terrible. I knew it last Thanksgiving. I knew it was terrible. Yeah, I don't remember the point in time where I just stopped caring. Um, it was probably during one of the camping trips. I went over the thing about the hotels again because of the timeline I was trying to remember. I'm pretty sure there was 3 hotel stays after he came back, in December, so they must have been in January and February, because he went to Gavin at December 23rd, and he was there for 6 weeks. Okay, so it was probably maybe all 3 of them were in February. Okay. The first one, there was some sexual contact, which I explained he still was having sexual dysfunction, but it seemed, it actually seemed like things were still kind of okay with us, and he was just a drug addict and stuff at that point. And then after that time, the next 2 hotels, all he did was sleep. And I remember the second hotel, as soon as I pretty much gave up that this dude's ever gonna wake up, at that point, nothing should make sense because it was different from even the first hotel, where he said, "Let me get this out of the way and take a shower and stuff in case he falls asleep," and he, of course, didn't. After the sexual activity, he didn't just fall right to sleep. So he's taking the medication and going to sleep on purpose to avoid sex. Right. Because, right, he doesn't do it that time. Okay. So then the next hotel, he just doesn't even shower. He lays right down because in that time I was like, okay, well, he's sitting up in a chair. That's the thing. Give him a chance to sleep. That's why after the first hotel, I didn't get mad. But I did notice as soon as I gave up that he was going to wake up and even talk to me and cuddle, eat the food we bought, anything, right? Watch a movie together. As soon as I climbed into the bed to like go to sleep, he woke up and went outside to smoke. And when he came back in, he made no attempt to get with me. Okay. And I still let it go after that time. So then I got another hotel. And after that hotel, I knew I was done personally because he went to sleep and he slept about 16 hours. And I felt in the morning, I felt like he was pretending he was sleeping. I swear to God, how can a person sleep that much? How can a person sleep that much? So I also found out I couldn't go to college. I literally was in severe emotional distress at that point between that going on and then finding out I can't go to college. And I was so excited about it. I planned the trip around it, everything. I was so excited about doing it and my emotional healing and stuff from not finishing college. So um, I told him he didn't even wake up and talk to me and comfort me or anything after me spending a whole night at Mount Auburn House Hospital in December with him after what he did to me in Orlando and taking off at Harvard. I still did that to him, and he couldn't even fucking wake up and talk to me about what happened. So I think that was probably the end of it for me in terms of I know he doesn't give a fuck. I know he doesn't give a fuck, and I know he's not interested in me at all sexually. I would say it was then. And that's why I started telling people about it. I hadn't told anyone that we weren't having sex until after that because I knew I'm not retarded. I have a logical mind and I knew. And when I know something, I force myself to tell people so I won't keep listening to this fucking person anymore. That's why I started telling people. Not really trying to be vindictive, just that's why I said. And as soon as I started telling people, they went, "Oh my God. Oh my God. I had no idea. I had no idea he wasn't even having sex with you. This is so fucking terrible for you." Everybody knew he was nothing but a fucking scumbag at that point. Because clearly some people know that he's having sex with other people, like Colleen reported. He's clearly having sex with other people and he's trying to have sex with people that are reporting they don't want to have sex with him. And then you come to find out he's not even having sex with Mary. How fucking awful and disgusting that is? Yeah, that's pretty fucking awful and disgusting. Okay. That's pretty fucking awful and disgusting to do to a person, and it's clearly rape by coercion. Right? Because you go, I don't fucking understand this. You married her and had sex with her once and refused to have sex with her? Oh my God, you're a fucking rapist. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, dude. Just, oh my God. Yeah. So anyway, and then the third hotel, which was the second hotel where all he did was sleep, he woke up, realized that he was awake. It has nothing to do with me not waking him up. He screamed and screamed the next day. It's because I didn't wake him up. He woke up the second hotel, went outside to smoke a cigarette, and didn't come and do anything. It has nothing to do with I didn't wake him up. Everything is an excuse and my fault. So he woke up, he could see that I was awake. He could see that he slept all that time. And he took his medication and went back to fucking sleep. That's when I said, just call me Mary and stop kissing me. So that then he ordered fucking sneakers, and that's another excuse to do drugs. I'm pretty sure that's around the time in the cafeteria at Father Bill's, and this is the first time probably people saw how he talks to me. He said I was a fucking douchebag and to give him money. And I go, see, this is what the problem. I'm like explaining to people this is what the problem is because I feel like you don't care about me. He goes, I don't. He goes, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. That's his true self. That's his true self. Right. And then I'm sure it got to a point, um, I'm sure before the rape, it got to a point where he thinks I deserve it because he knows he's a dick, and then why do I keep taking him back? Just like I don't at the campground all angry. I don't understand why anyone would go out with me anyway. Okay, so you're mentally insane and you've committed criminal acts, so you're criminally insane. Yeah, I'm not, but if I had a degree in psychology and I was allowed to interview him, like say I interviewed me and gathered all that information, and then I interviewed him in a different way where you just find out what he says to certain events and stuff, then I would testify to the judge about Bridgewater State Hospital that I feel that the man is guilty of raping her. He's admitted to it. He's admitted to he now states that he felt trapped being with her and he never wanted to be with her and he didn't know how to get out of it. So I feel that he is a psychopath and that he's a rapist. I feel that he did rape her. Right. So I call that criminally insane. I don't consider a psychopath sane. And just the man's lifestyle is clearly not competent, it's not mentally competent or sane. Yeah, if I had to interview me, if I had a degree in psychology and I had to interview me and I had to interview Brian Buchanan because as you know, I have pretty much interviewed him. And most of the time he refuses to answer direct questions. Okay. And then say that he was around for 2 weeks and I interviewed him 4 times and he gave me different stories, then you know he's lying. It's not always cognitive decline, but that he's lying. There's other ways you can determine cognitive decline. Okay. If he thinks that right, if he said to her, I don't understand why anybody would even want to go out with me, and he's angry about it, and they've been married for over a year, he's a rapist. Yeah, just even that statement, Your Honor. Say it's anyone. I think even that statement is admitting that you're a rapist. Okay, so you you married someone, even if you won't agree that you insisted on being married when Mary had this conversation with you while you were in Gavin Foundation before the wedding, and you were given the option to not marry her because now you're in a detox, okay? You have the option to not marry her, or and she'll still be your friend and support you, or you can marry her and she'll still be your emergency contact and not have sex and not tell anyone. You say to her, no, you want to be a regular husband, okay? So you marry her to get her to agree to sex where otherwise she wouldn't agree to sex. And then a year after you've been married, you say to her in an angry tone, I don't know why anyone would want to go out with me anyway. Okay, so you feel that she deserved to be raped because she shouldn't have tried to go out with you. That's your testimony a year after being married to her. And the rest of it is just denial on your part. You think somehow in your mind that you're going to go to jail for raping her, someone's going to beat you up again. You can't get the things that you want. You know that she's handling basically your entire life. You're still hoping to get housing. You feel that she's a person you can take off from occasionally, cheat, use drugs, drink, go to a detox, and then she'll take you back again. That's what you think. Okay. But you are a rapist because it's even if you were impotent in your penis, that has nothing to do with cuddling um, kissing, fondling, other forms of sexual contact. It doesn't explain you're complete. You don't even hold hands with her. Like you're completely denying affection to her purposely because you think that she deserved to be raped. And now she's gross and should leave you alone because you're criminally insane. Right. When someone explains to you some of your behaviors and that you're a victim of abuse and stuff, and you just, I would say that you're mentally insane. So, but yeah, that just for the record, Your Honor, if a man or a woman, okay, after a year of marriage makes statements like that, I would say that they're guilty of rape by coercion, and then whatever it is they were gaining from the marriage. He's disgusted by the fact that anybody would actually care about him because he's mentally insane. He's transferring from his mother and like abusers and stuff, and he won't stop doing it to this poor fucking woman. Oh, with my stomach. Ooh, I'm gonna see if I have any cigarettes. Ooh. Is that objective enough? Like, you would have to basically at that point, Your Honor, in terms of rape by coercion and his psychopathy and like why he would keep doing this and harming me. Okay. Um, you would have to come up with some other reason that a married man, like say that you wanted to know more information about the marriage and what he was doing and stuff. Why, or the context of the conversation, okay? Why a man after a year of marriage would say that to his wife? Why would he say that to her? It's a very odd statement because during the honeymoon phase, it's a very. Didn't we get in a big fight on the anniversary too? Like he had to ruin our anniversary. I think he started saying fucked up shit too. That's why I feel it's done purposely. Okay. Holidays, anniversary, um, saying things about my sister thinks this, that, and the other, and I've discussed it with my sister, and I don't believe the things that Brian has said that she said. Um, right. Um, just why would a married man say that to his wife? Yeah, I'd say there's something seriously effing, and this is just off a court. You don't say fuck in a courtroom, but I'd say there's something seriously fucking wrong with you, okay? When you're married to a person and you're actually talking to them like that, and you're like stone cold sober and you're 38 years old, I'd say there's definitely fucking something wrong with you. Yeah, like you committed sexual assault yourself on me, and now you're talking to me like I'm a fucking creeper that took advantage of you when you were high and drunk. That's why it's so fucked up. Like you're admitting with that statement, in my opinion, that no matter how bad you treat me, you can't get rid of me. When you won't stop contacting me and asking me to take you back. So you're insane. You're mentally insane. That to me is mentally insane. I don't know why anyone would want to go out with me anyway. This is at the 6-week campground, Your Honor. After the call from Mass General, please come, please, please, please. And I want to be with my wife, and oh yeah. And then he also stated when I brought that up I would have told you anything. So yeah, I believe that he's a psychopath that's criminally insane and that he's a rapist. That hasn't changed. It's not like an anger. Um, I've brought it up with him before, um, and he's always denied it. Right? Yeah, you have to think about the totality of it where you go, why would a person yeah, just I've never heard of it. I mean, usually you can't get dudes to leave you the fuck alone, right? Just people, we're all adults, you know. People have either been married or had a boyfriend or something, and you go, that is just not normal at all. Like that is not normal in any way, shape, or form. Is that normal? And like I said, um, we had, other than the sexual assault in Plymouth, Your Honor, because he knew that I had celibacy and I was completely dedicated to proper courting because that's what I believe in. So, I explained what happened behind the library. He clearly had an erection, so you assume the person is attracted to you. Right. That's not something a homosexual does. Right. So he he played it off in 2023 like he was actually interested in me, and he made statements before the wedding in 2024 about had the discussion about behind the library, and again I believe it's a persona where he goes, "Oh yeah, I felt like I was struck by lightning," like because he's reading what I'm putting online, in my opinion, and he's using that to manipulate me. Like a person can become that sick where I said something in 2023 didn't like. Okay, after he took off from Faulkner Hospital, I thought I was being nothing but complimentary. But a person like that can fly into a rage about it. I don't know if I was interfering with his life, things he was doing, or he's just sick that he doesn't like somebody liking him. Get it? I don't understand why anyone would want to go out with me anyway. Okay, so you saw me online in 2023 and like you didn't you right, and then later on he says he doesn't remember 2023. Really? Because in 2024, before the wedding, you were using that to groom me. Remember all that? Don't see how I seem, more focused now on the Adderall when we went to Mountain Beach and stuff? Yeah, he wasn't taking off and stuff like he did in 2023, so I actually thought he was different. Yeah, he had told me he was in the whole thing and went to a halfway house and shit, and yeah, I thought he was different. Um, oh yeah, except for remember the parade and shit? He wouldn't come into the shelter. Yeah, he wouldn't come into the shelter. Um, so some of that stuff was the same. Well, sorry, I got distracted by the cooking show. Oh, that's right. I gotta see if I see where it's rolling. I gotta take my shower. I don't have to rush around. I'm doing it to myself. There's no reason to rush around. Except if you go outside in the cold and you're all sweaty and your clothes are wet, you're gonna be freezing. The only thing about that. I waited a little bit too long because I was enjoying talking. Yeah. Because I could have jumped in the shower before I decided I needed this another cigarette. I suppose I could make a coffee and hope and pray I don't get a hot flash. It hasn't happened lately. Um, Probably because I've been walking. Yeah, that's probably why it hasn't happened. At first, before I was here, I noticed I was getting wicked, sort of like I thought I was getting stressed out. That's what hot flashes do that. I thought I was getting like stressed out. I'm like wicked anxious or something. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with me? Because that's when I sort of questioned it when Brian took off from here. I had like that horrifying, like right. And then, remember the sky was all red and shit, and of course he's not with me. He's off with the drug addict in the tent, right? I don't know that yet. Okay. So, I'm thinking it's from that, but then I noticed when this time when him and I would come out here, it was happening, right? But then when I came here without him, I realized it's not happening. You get what I'm saying? Like I think it's from too much coffee. Right, because I at first I went, I think I actually feel more relaxed when I'm back in Cambridge. No, I think it's because my body's not used to that level of caffeine. Because for some on his part, I'd like to have more than 1 cup of coffee a day. Remember when he wouldn't stop drinking coffee and he spilt it all over the library and shit? Then all of a sudden we just have a cup of coffee in the morning and that's it. Um Right, like, is there some reason we're not having a second or a third cup of coffee? What's going on? Yeah, that was different after the brain injury. Yeah, just because Brian only wants 1 cup, that's why. Everything is about Brian. Brian only wants 1 cup of coffee. That's why. When he's here, he drinks more coffee. I don't think he drinks as much as I do, no, but he drinks more coffee when he used to come here, right? Not when he's here, when he used to come here. Yeah, I mean, sometimes in life you should know if you're going out with someone and they do something so fucked up that you can never bring them to someone's place again, then just stay away from them. Right. Just stay away from them. It's amazing she let him come back here after what he did last year. Because she was buying his persona too, and now she doesn't anymore. Right. She doesn't buy his fucking persona anymore. There's certain things certain things you don't tell your family members. So know that if you think that someone in your family or one of your friends is in an abusive relationship, say you already think that, it's way worse than you think it is. Just know that. They won't tell you until they're ready to get away from them. They won't. Just let you know. They won't. So if you already suspect they're in an abusive relationship, it's way worse than you think it is. Because they know that you're gonna tell them to stop going back to them. That's why. That's why they don't. Why they don't tell them. Really should. But try. Oh yeah, I forgot I have an alternative to that. I bought this. No, actually, I think Candy actually ended up paying for this one. It's hot chocolate, but it's a Keurig and it's peppermint mocha. Yeah. And then I also bought peppermint mocha coffee that's Starbucks. It was $15. What happened, Walmart? You used to make a peppermint mocha coffee at Christmas time. What the hell's going on? Yeah. Anyway, um, I put some in a that you can put regular coffee in a metal Keurig. I found out, but it didn't come out very good. I can try it again. Yeah, the woman that gave it to us to use, she said fill it all the way up, but she uses a different Keurig, so I don't know. I don't. That's what my sister uses. I don't really care for them, but it is sort of convenient, but it's expensive. When I say oh no about something, that means it's good. Yeah, because you know it's loaded with sugar. It's actually good. Yeah, because it's hot chocolate. It's not even coffee. This is gonna be a ton of sugar. Anyways, I'm already breaking the rules. Yeah, I'm trying to warm myself up. That's my excuse. But yeah, this is why I drink coffee and not hot chocolate because of the sugar. So yeah, next time I'll try to do the peppermint mocha coffee because I don't put sugar in my coffee, just light cream. Yeah, the big, huge difference. Huge difference. It's gonna be Slurpee. Yeah, I drink like boiling stuff wicked fast. By the way. Yeah, that's why. Sometimes instant coffee I used to like when I was younger, but I prefer regular coffee. But I do wish it was hotter. That's why I like a percolator. Yeah, I like boiling drinks like that. Some of these shows are okay, and some of them I don't like because I can tell that they're copying other shows like a trend, and it's like becomes retarded. No one's gonna eat that. Why don't you just use clay and other materials, right? You go, it's only impressive when you can actually eat it. Most of them, it's something you could that's technically edible, but no one's gonna actually eat it. I'm not impressed. Sorry, I'm not impressed. Make a cookie that a person would actually eat, really, or a cake that someone would actually eat because it's way overboard when they were doing all that shit with the pumpkin carving. Someone's gonna eat a raw pumpkin? No, right? You just go, why are you using food for all that? I guess if it's a natural product, they might be saying that, yeah, instead of doing wood. I guess you to do it as that then, that you're being environmentally friendly and you're making everything out of food. Right, like a chef probably goes, I don't understand this. People are, it's a madness. And then there's like 50 of these shows because one of them was popular. I think this one is they actually the food is edible. They're making like cookies and stuff. That's why it's not insane. Some of it got insane, and you go, I don't understand what this is. I know, just make little pies and cookies that look cool that people will actually eat. What's the market for what you're doing? You're either gonna work at like a hotel with a display you don't eat, or Disney with a display that doesn't get eaten. You're not gonna work in a restaurant. Does it matter if you get work as a chef on the show, or you're just crazy people that want to be on TV like Fear Factor? Like, whatever happened to gingerbread houses, by the way? I know. I think I did see a show once about gingerbread houses. I think some of it. bothers me in terms of this constant like competition and outdoing everybody. It's just bizarre. I think most people appreciate grandma and mom's fucking cookies. Yeah. And you just go, um, they never stop, these people. It's like when we were doing our workouts and they're all gonna out fucking run us and shit. You go, it never stops with those people. Been back for over an hour. I really should think about taking a shower, smoking and taking a shower. Oh my god, this is wet too. Put something else on. I can't complain, but yet it's an issue. The sweating is an issue. So they're gonna interview someone named Jamie Lee Curtis about I don't know, is it aging gracefully? And she has wisdom for all of us because her mother was famous and did films. Grant. We're still not going to mention that homeless Mary Gladys. Okay. Because we're mentally insane animals and we're morally depraved. And you're sure as fuck never talking to me at this point, right? Even though I wouldn't scream and yell at you, I would just tell you the truth and you know it. What would you say to a person like me? That's why you won't talk to me. Why are you not interviewing me like you do all these other social problems? So you've been homeless for since when? What happened? Okay, so what happened is my apparent ex-husband, um, his he worked at the Golf Channel with Casey DeSantis. So that's what happened. Right. So that's what happened. That's not even bringing up 2008, okay? So, or DCF. So I'm flown up here on a one-way ticket to Massachusetts, and everybody ignores me about what's going on. So, what do you think about that? Like when you find out that the ex-husband, Brian Buchanan, when you find out that the ex-husband worked with the governor of Florida's wife, does that have no meaning? Do you go, I don't understand what that means. I don't understand why that matters. Do you go, oh, well, yeah, corruption? Do you do that? But still not give a fuck, right? You most certainly don't stop whatever you're doing and then go, yeah, I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna start at replying people because now I get why they fucking blocked you off of everything and this is fucking insane. No, you don't do that. You keep talking about fucking Brian Buchanan and his fucking problems that are non-existent actually, other than you're fucking homeless. And if you get rid of me, then you won't have any more problems because you'll sit in a fucking mental ward being given benzos up the Yahoo, and then they'll get you into fucking CSS or whatever the fuck they're doing there. Okay? Because the fact that you raped me has no meaning to these fucking people. You don't know your parents' birthday, but you're mentally fucking competent. And I am not a non-person. I don't matter. So it doesn't even matter that I legally fucking married your ass. That has no meaning. I have no rights. That has no meaning. This was a mistake from the beginning. You shouldn't have married her. She shouldn't have married you. She should have known. She should have known that she didn't even know she was spending the night in Plymouth, okay? She should have known that you were going to take her hand and put it on your fucking naked penis. She should have known you were going to do that. How should have known he was going to do that? Okay? Then be told, look, you either going to a detox today or I'm not going to see you again. He goes like this towards me, like I'm his fucking mother or something. Why would you even care about that statement when you're living with fucking Colleen? And then you pretend you have an interest in detox and then you take off and not see me again for fucking 10 months. You tell everybody to tell me that they haven't seen you and you're dead. Okay, including your fucked up family. Because they don't believe that that's a crime. They don't believe that when you take a person's hand and put it on your naked penis, that's not a crime to them. Because they're morally fucking depraved. That's why they're morally depraved, just like you are. Why the fuck would you not know that's a crime? Why would you think that's not a crime when it's reported to you? I wouldn't go out and marry these people. That's why I pity people that are involved with them. The dude hadn't even married me yet, okay? And I'm reporting this shit to the literal fucking police, not online. They clearly don't think it's a fucking crime. Okay, so now you know your cops don't think if someone takes your hand and puts it on their naked penis till they ejaculate, that's not a fucking crime here. Just so you know, it's not a fucking crime. And then apparently you marry that person and then you rape them, and that's not a crime either. Remember the guy that went to jail because he tried to pretend briefly that he was someone's boyfriend? Remember that? He went to jail for fucking rape because it's a crime. It's a crime. That's why. He made up he was going out with her. They weren't even married. He made up it was her fucking boyfriend to rape her and then tried to make a text like trail for himself that they just broke up. They decided not to go out. That was his fucking defense in court, and he went to jail for rape. But this dude puts my hand on his naked penis till he ejaculates. That's not sexual assault. He literally lies and says he wants to be a husband, marries me to rape me, and then starts doing all this fucked up shit that the whole planet has witnessed him doing. And that's not a crime. So get to know your meals in your life and your females for that matter. I know I'm just relaxed. That's why I haven't gotten up yet. All right, I gotta smoke so I can take a shower and change my clothes. Just because I don't want to be cold.